She was $30,000 in debt. No technical skills. No connections. No plan. Today, that same woman runs a website generating $500,000 every single month, without a team, without an office, and without trading her time for money the way the rest of the world does. The product is a digital file. The store is a Shopify page. The traffic comes from Pinterest and Google. And the entire system runs while she sleeps. Her name is Sarah Titus, and what she built will permanently change the way you think about making money online. The website is sarahtitus.com, and its architecture is simpler than most people expect when they first encounter those revenue numbers. At its core, it is a blog fused with a Shopify store. The blog is where Sarah's story lives. She writes honestly about her journey from financial collapse to multi-million-dollar business, mixing that narrative with practical content about saving money, household management, and parenting, targeted specifically at the audience she knows best, mothers navigating family life on a budget. The store is where that audience's attention gets converted into revenue, and it does so through a product category almost perfectly engineered for passive income: digital printables. Calendars, planners, journals, coloring pages, organizational templates, all of them designed once, sold infinitely, delivered automatically, with zero inventory, zero shipping costs, and zero need for Sarah to be present at the moment of purchase. The economics of this model explain everything about why it generates the margins it does. When a customer buys a printable, they are paying for a file. That file costs nothing to reproduce, nothing to store, and nothing to ship. The customer downloads it, prints it at home, and the transaction is complete. Sarah's cost of goods sold is effectively zero. Every sale after the initial design cost has been recovered is almost entirely profit. Wall art, binders, and stickers represent the highest revenue categories in her store. Many items are priced at accessible levels, some as low as $1. The volume of transactions required to reach those monthly numbers is a testament to how effectively she has built an audience that trusts her enough to keep coming back. But digital printables alone do not produce $500,000 a month. The full revenue picture includes two additional streams that compound her income in meaningful ways. The first is affiliate marketing, naturally into her blog content. Articles offering practical advice contain embedded links to products and services she genuinely recommends. When a reader clicks through and makes a purchase, Sarah earns a commission. Content written once, generating commissions continuously, requiring no additional effort once published. That is passive income in the most literal sense. The second stream is her course business, sold through a separate storefront, called the $1 Million Shop. These courses teach other aspiring entrepreneurs how to build and monetize a Shopify store of their own, priced between $500 and $2,000 per course. The volume of sales is lower than in the printables store, but the math is immediately compelling. Even a single course sale per week at the higher price point adds $8,000 a month to the bottom line. What makes the course business particularly instructive is not just its profitability, but it is the intentionality of the infrastructure built around it. Each course has a dedicated landing page built around a carefully constructed argument for why the product is worth the investment. And that argument follows the psychology of how purchase decisions actually get made. It starts by naming the pain with uncomfortable specificity, the exhaustion of working endless hours for insufficient pay, the anxiety of bills that exceed income, the feeling of being trapped with no visible exit. When a visitor reads those words and thinks that is exactly what my life feels like, the page has accomplished something critical. It has established that the person behind the product understands their reality. From there, the page walks the visitor through the story of how that problem was solved, positioning Sarah not as a distant success story to be envied, but as a guide who has already traveled the path the visitor is standing at the beginning of. It closes with social proof, testimonials from people who took the course and experienced real results. Case studies that demonstrate outcomes rather than promises. Enough concrete evidence that the remaining hesitation dissolves naturally. This is not accidental salesmanship. It is a deliberately engineered journey from uncertainty to purchase, and it works because it respects the intelligence of the buyer while addressing every psychological obstacle between interest and commitment. None of this income exists without traffic. And understanding where Sarah's visitors come from reveals the third major pillar of how this business functions. Her traffic arrives through three primary channels: direct visitors, returning customers who already know and trust her brand; organic Google search, driven by years of disciplined SEO that has established her website as an authoritative source for printables and home organization content; and Pinterest, her most powerful acquisition channel. Operating as the top of a carefully constructed funnel, her Pinterest strategy involves visually striking pins, bold text, bright colors, compelling images that showcase her products or illustrate her blog content. A user scrolling through Pinterest encounters a pin, clicks through to a blog post, reads content that is genuinely useful, and is then naturally directed toward the store. Social platform to blog to store. Each step adding value. Each step moving the visitor closer to a transaction. The SEO dimension of this represents an investment most new entrepreneurs dramatically underestimate. Showing up on the first page of Google does not happen quickly. It is the result of months, more often years, of consistent content creation and strategic keyword targeting. Pages Sarah wrote a year ago are still ranking, still receiving visitors, still converting those visitors into customers. That is what genuine, passive income looks like when it is built on real content value rather than shortcuts. The full picture of sarahtitus.com is ultimately a story about systems thinking applied to digital entrepreneurship. Every component, the blog, the store, the affiliate partnerships, the courses, the Pinterest strategy, the SEO was built to function interdependently. Each piece reinforcing and feeding the others in a cycle that generates income continuously, regardless of how many hours Sarah personally puts in on any given day. It took time. It took consistency and the willingness to invest effort long before the returns became visible, but the result is a business that earns while its founder sleeps. A financial life built not on the exchange of time for money, but on the construction of assets that produce value indefinitely. The blueprint is visible to anyone willing to study it closely enough. The only question is when you decide to start building it.